Hello, hello. I'm Renee Wright, and I'm here from the right side. We provide relationship services to all aspects of relationships, from courtship to marriage to maintenance. So today is the third session of a 10-part series. So where we talk about again all aspects of relationships. So we're still in courtship. So the first two was meeting someone new. The second one was dating, and those are kind of different. When you're just meeting someone, it's different than dating because you can meet someone walking down the street, or you can meet someone and you just run into them. You don't really orchestrate dates and things like that. And dating is just a little bit different. But I talk about those in the first two videos. Today is after you've had your meetings and you determine you want to go further, and then you start dating, and now it's time to determine, do we want to move towards commitment, or should we try to repair what we have, or should we walk away? So women, I'm talking to you. I think that we should truly, truly, truly give good energy to this. Put good time into this before we make a decision. Because it is possible that we have gained strong feelings for someone that maybe is not good for us, or maybe not the best person for us. So here are some ways a few ways that I want you to think about whether or not this person is for you. And I get it. He's cute and he's successful and he makes money and he's kind and he's all of those things. Those are the things that he is. I want to know who you are in this relationship. Okay? And when you look at his fine self, you need to say, this is a good fit for me. All right. So one of the things that I want you to measure or look for to measure is whether or not you feel a growing emotional intimacy with this person. Do you feel that the things that you are not proud of about yourself, that you'd be able to share with this person? Will you be able to talk about things you struggle with? Maybe you struggle with biting your fingernails. Those are very minor. But biting your fingernails, or maybe you have, maybe an eating disorder. Maybe you overeat, maybe you undereat, maybe you do things in that. Maybe you gambling, maybe you have a gambling issue. Like there are things that you may not be proud about on yourself that you're working on. These are not things these are things that you've identified, and maybe you're working on them, and maybe you're just giving them some time in your head. But do you see yourself ever trusting this person who you've been dating with this information? Right? Like, can you say and feel pretty confident that the response will be supportive and encouraging, uplifting, or just honest, and it won't be demeaning? A lot of times that's what prevents us from showing our true selves. My daughter always says that when you go on a date, it's not you, it's the representative of you. And your representative is never going to show your worst traits and qualities. So do you see this person as someone who you could share an emotionally intimate detail of your life and feel supportive in it? Because we don't want you hiding. Just to give you an idea if this is similar or not, but just to give you an idea, I used to date this guy many, many years ago. I would even say we weren't dating. We were really just meeting, because that's another reason why I separated. We were really just meeting. I don't even know what I knew about this guy, and I invited him over to my house, and he was going to stay the night because we went out to a club or something, and I was wearing a really long wig. So after we get home, and it's a late night, so I cooked some food, fried some chicken, and did whatever. I go to get comfortable. So I go and take off my long wig and put on a short wig and tie a scarf around it. And when I came out, he just looked at me and goes, "You tripping?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You just tripping." And so that's because I was very ashamed of my hair. It probably was in these little two cornrows down the side. It probably had some gray. Even though it was a long time ago, I had gray hair in high school. So whatever it was, I wasn't proud of. But I was about to be physically intimate with someone who I had not even been emotionally intimate with. So this relationship was pretty much doomed from the start. I don't even know where I wanted to go. I didn't think about it at the time. And I was old enough to think about it at the time, but I didn't. So I'm saying we get physically intimate before we get emotionally intimate. And even if you don't open up your heart and spill out all your guts, there's still some things that you that you should think about if you could share. If you already know, oh, this guy doesn't really listen very well, or this guy, if you already know those kind of things and you know you need a listener and you know that you want someone who will support you through listening, you want to feel heard at the end of these conversations, then either this person is not for you, or this needs some help. Maybe you need some counseling. Maybe you need to go and figure some things out. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not going to say if the person's for you or not, but these are things to consider. And then you can consider, well, why do I need him to know about my wigs, my hair situation? Maybe I can keep that a secret forever. And if you're prepared to do that, I mean, it could get tired, and it could be tiresome. You know, people who turn the lights off when they get naked and all those things. You have to be prepared to be intimate, mentally and emotionally intimate before this physical intimacy. Physical intimacy doesn't fix anything. If anything, it makes everything worse. So take care of these things first. So if you don't see this person as someone who you can trust with your secrets, who will be supportive, who you'll feel heard by, this might not be the person for you. If this is a person who's abrupt and cuts you off and demeans your ideas and demeans your beliefs and doesn't hear your stories and doesn't care about your day and doesn't let you have your level of frustration you need, because there's sometimes in relationships you just need to feel frustrated and you just need to get it out, and you don't want to be judged and you don't want to be soothed, you just want to be heard. Sometimes that's all you need. If this is the person who shows you that they can't do that, you need to have this conversation. Like, baby, I need for you to listen to me sometimes. Maybe we can go to somebody who can help us. Maybe you can go to the church. Maybe you can go to a coach. Or maybe you can go to one of those old aunties that's, married, and they fight this a little bit and love a lot harder. And maybe they could give you some advice on how to listen and respond and communicate with each other. So again, I say, if this emotional intimacy, if you're not there and if you're not feeling hurt in the beginning, physical intimacy will not fix this. It's gonna make it worse, because you're still gonna carry around all of those things. And some people say, oh, you just carry those to your girlfriends and carry them to your therapist. That's all well and good, but you need to also at least have the access, if you need it, to take it to your partner. So if this relationship is growing towards of you guys being exclusive, if just dating each other, just one-on-one, and we're taking everybody out of the equation, because that's going to bring on a level of stress as well. Believe me, this is growing into commitment. This is growing into potentially marriage. So there's a lot of things that are going to come even with that commitment, that elevated commitment level. So you better learn now if this is somebody you're going to be able to talk with. And it may be the person never had to do this. So it's not like a good or bad thing. It's just about a learning. It's just about having had the experience. I'm working with someone right now, and I always get permission to share part of people's stories. I never share names. So I'm working with someone now who's getting married. And when I first met her, there were so many things that she had not discussed with her fiance. Many things. And now they're past all these stages. And I mean, even down to things like changing your last name, or, being comfortable with just these little things. Like, why? Well, I don't know if it's the time, and I don't want to be bothersome. And, that's not going to get better. That's not going to get better. So I'm only working with her, and I'm glad she came to me, because she recognized that her lack of confidence in expressing things that she wants and feels comes from a fear of her chasing somebody away. Him deciding you're too needy, or whatever. But I tell you what, if you have a need, if you are a person that needs to be heard, needs to be held, needs to be understood, who needs to be talked to, then either get on the wavelength, either figure out why you have those needs. And if it's an abandonment thing, let's deal with that. Or talk to your future husband and get you guys both into some counseling, so at least you guys can, you'll be able to communicate it without him feeling fearful of, oh, she's being needy, I won't be able to meet her needs, because that happens as well. Sometimes we overwhelm men with what we need from them, and they don't know how to fix it. And little do they know, all they need to do is listen. It doesn't need fixing. It just needs to be heard. And sometimes that's enough. So again, I go back to in the courtship when you're moving towards commitment and you're going to be exclusive. Again, you decide if you're gonna if you're comfortable enough to talk to this person, this guy who you're gonna be committing to. You don't want to live a life of secrets. You don't want to have to hide things. You don't want to have to lie about things. And the only way to prevent that is talking up front. And if you need help talking up front to him, then you get to a coach, and I can help you, and I can help you with the lingo and the language, because a lot of times when we change our behaviors, they change theirs. So again, that's how you decide whether you're going to stay, whether you're going to leave, or whether you're going to try to repair it. So it's stay, leave, repair. All right. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I hope you took something from this. So this was the end of the series on courtship, but I urge you to listen to the marriage and the maintenance too, because eventually you'll get there. And if you're already married, and if you're in the maintenance stage, or you're newly married, listen to the courtship stage as well. Because maybe you skip these steps and it's not too late to try to establish them now in your marriage. It will help you through your maintenance. So I urge you to watch all 10 of the series. I believe the 10th series is going to be questions and answers, where you're going to be sending in questions, and I'll be responding to them either live or you send them now. If you send them now, I'll answer them now. So again, like and subscribe. Please share this with your friends who either are struggling in their relationships or fresh in their relationships. So whatever you do, remember that love is easy, not effortless. It definitely takes work. So I hope to see you in the next one. Reach out to me. My number is below. You can give me a text message. My consultations are free. And we can talk about where you are and where you want to be. All right. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'm Renee Wright.